Hey, welcome. We're in Toledo, getting ready to watch the JV Trojans take on St. John's Jesuits. Now, if you're wanting to be exact or pedantic, St. John's actually has 3 teams. They've got their varsity squad. We'll be seeing them later. They've got their JV B team. That's who came to Findlay earlier this week. I'm going to say Wednesday. They got a 5-3 win over the Trojans, and then they have a JV A team, and this is that JV A team that we'll be taking on. So it should be a tough one for the Trojans. They've been playing very well. Going to get it started here with Atticus Dysinger, and the faceoff wins it. Picks up his own ground ball to get started. Looks for Simon Marshall. Marshall under some pressure, can't hang on. Ground ball battle ends up. Ooh. Still battling. Had a kick out there. All kinds of stuff going on. Still alive. Finally looks like St. John's will get a hold of it, and they do. So I guess technically a turnover there for Simon Marshall. But man, a lot of opportunities there for everybody. St. John's first offensive possession here. Oh, these windows. Sorry about that. The steal looks like, I guess, for number 36, and then he lost it. That's Aiden Brickner. Had the ground ball, then a turnover. St. John's will take it right back into scoring zone. See Findlay goalie Cashel West in there. Quick shot goes wide. That's Peyton Kennedy on the shot for St. John's. Ball will stay with the Titans. Good defense there by the Trojan poles. But the Titans hang on. It's a colder one out there than expected. Here's a ground ball for Aiden Brock. He's going to bring it up the sideline. Get into position. Out to Simon Marshall. Up in the top corner there. Marshall out here to Brody Houston. Now it's Casey Pace, and then down to Jake Need. That's number 25 here toward the center of your screen. Need's going to dive in to the middle. This is kind of where he shines, but he lost it there. Ball still loose. And no, still Need had a chance on it. And looks like that's going to St. John's. Jake Need pretty successful earlier this week against the JVB team for St. John's. Kind of charging into the middle there, the bull dodge, and firing. See if we can get that going today. Titans setting up in the Trojans' end. No score yet. About 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. All right. Cross turnover and a ground ball for Mr. Jack Young. Didn't play a ton earlier this week in that JVB game. He did play a little bit of short stick mid. Turns it over there. Picked off by St. John's' Tanner Barnes. Here's a chance. Shot and a save for West. I want to say rebound was picked up by Jaden Thompson. And now that's Jack Young trying to cross midfield with it. Out here to Brokamp, Evan Brokamp. He sends it deep, and that's going to sail out of bounds. It'll be Titan ball. That's number 4 with the ball for St. John's. It's Connor Swidlick. Out of bounds. It should switch over to Finley here. It does. It's going to be brought in by Max Inthavon down here at the bottom of your screen, 28. Lost it. Out of bounds, and we'll turn right back over to the Titans. No. Yeah, no. 5 yards was not given there. So it's clear. Peyton Kennedy in possession for the Titans. And over to Dom Specialty. Specialty. Like specialty. Okay. St. John's works back outside, and now they're going to try to work it in. Good look there. That's a goal for St. John's, number 21. That's Drew Kaufman. Drew Kaufman with the assist from Peyton Kennedy. Makes it 1-0 Titans with 4:39 to go in the first quarter. And now we'll see Zayden Boop at the face-off. He's opted for pants today. Good call. It's a cold one. Okay. Good defense there by, was that Brickner? Knocking it loose, and well, we'll give him a call's turnover there. Aiden Brickner's really been showing up these last few games, right? It's hard, at the beginning of the season when the team's so flush with new faces and freshmen, and you had some immediate standouts. I think Jack Young, Henry Eiton, and those guys kind of immediately stood out as freshmen. And Brickner here mid-season is really starting to make some great plays defensively. Even had a goal in a couple of games. Contested ball on the sideline, still bouncing around. Looks like it should go to Finley. And it does. See Jackie Young started off. And again, that's literally 2 yards. He'll kick it back out to Cashel West. Let's see what West does with it. He decides to go. Sidearm to Neat. Neat going to try to bull through to the middle. Lost the ball again. And that's a bouncer toward the St. John's goal. Goalie grabs the ground ball, and we'll turn it over. It's Bryce Frost on the inbounds man. Oh, mishandled pass there by who's 24, Jake Nemechek. Ball go back to Finley. We brought in by Luke Smith. Luke Smith's been having a nice couple of games as well. Out to Marshall. Marshall being chased all the way up top. Pole didn't want to let him go. Will get around. Now he's hooked. And gets rid of it. Back out to Smith. Smith having trouble with the ground ball. Does get it. He's going to find Houston. Oh, Houston mishandles that one. And St. John's with a nice defensive possession there. Didn't allow the Trojans to make any headway. St. John's gets the touch. Move it down low. Bad pass there, though. It's going to go out and go right back to the Trojans. Right, going to get started here with who's on the ball there? 18. Aiden Brock brings it in. Works it out to Neat. Let's see if he tries to go inside again. Now this time he kicks it to the perimeter. Cooper Little. Pass goes a little wide. That'll go out, I believe. Should go out to St. John's. Nope. Kept in almost by Marshall. He took a swipe at it, but too late. Yeah, it'll be Titan ball with, about 2 minutes to go. First quarter. Titans lead 1-0. Ball loose, just inside the box. Picked up by the Titans. St. John's been really patient on this possession, working it around. Only 2 shots on goal for the Titans in this first quarter, none for the Trojans. No shots at all for the Trojans. St. John's defense has been pretty stout, not allowing. The only 2 times we've gotten close to the goal, Jake Neat bulldodging into the middle, and then they've ended up causing the turnover. So, bad pass there, out the back. And it'll be Trojan ball with 1 minute to go in the first quarter. See if they can't make something happen here. With time running out. Oh! Cassia West. What's the call there? Cassia West was marked very closely, and that ball was picked off by St. John's, but then a whistle. I don't know what that hand signal means. And Trojans will move it up to midfield. Brody Houston out to Neat. Again, got just under a minute to go in the first quarter. I'm going to open this window because there's a weird smell in here. Zach Smith trying to get into the middle. But that middle is really crowded. That's one thing that St. John's is doing is they're packing the front of the goal. And Trojans are not going to be able to access that for shots. They're going to have to shoot from outside. Speaking of shooting from outside, there's a shot and a save by West. West with about 17 seconds left. He hit Brickner here. Brickner's on the run with the pole. Marshall going to try to work it inside. Flag. Finley should hang on to it here. 3 seconds to go. No shot coming. And that'll do it for the first quarter. 1-0. Titans. Flag on the field. And I'm about 95% sure that's going to be against St. John's. So when we start the second quarter, Trojans should start with possession and man up. So not a bad quarter for the Trojans. Couldn't get any offense going, and I think they're going to have to learn to adapt that St. John's doesn't seem to be conceding the goal front there. We're going to have to take our chances from a little deeper. No shots attempted for the Trojans in that first quarter. 3 shots on goal for St. John's. One of them found the back of the net, and the other 2 saved by Cassia West. Looking on this roster, St. John's roster for names that are recognized from hockey. Don't seem to be as many hockey overlaps here at St. John's as I see in some other schools. I do see Paxton Lewis, of course, all the Lewis brothers really. Paxton here on the JV, and then Xander and Braylon Lewis on the varsity squad. I'm not recognizing any other names. Let me look at the varsity roster here. Owen Strayer, I want to say he's a hockey player. Drew Deasing might also be. So a lot of hockey overlap here for Finley, of course. Not so much on JV anymore. Got Patrick Shively, Simon Tanner. Excuse me, Simon Marshall on the JV. Anybody else I'm missing on the JV? Looking at the roster here. Lucas Biggs no longer plays hockey, played youth hockey. No, just Shively and Marshall. A lot of hockey players in the varsity, but I think a lot of that has to do with lacrosse being a new sport, and the kids who are juniors and seniors now, a lot of them came over from other sports originally. Less so the case with our freshmen and sophomores, I think. Trojans man up. Here's a shot. It's going to go wide. Shot by Marcus Dornbush, and St. John's wins the chase. No, Finley wins the chase. I disagree, but I'll take it. I thought there were about 3 St. John's guys ahead of him. There's Jake Neitz down to Marshall. Marshall turns and shoots. Shot's blocked right out of his stick, so an off-target shot for Marshall. An off-target shot for Marshall. Okay. Both? Oh, yeah. Okay. Out of bounds by the Titans. To bring it in, that's Little. Dornbush at X. Back out to Marshall. Thought about it. Back to Dornbush. St. John's really doing a nice job keeping the middle out of play. Oh, that was the side of the net. Oh, that always gets me. Marcus Dornbush shot into the side of the net. Here come the Titans. Oh, these are hockey players? Cool. Varsity. Are you looking at St. John's varsity hockey? Okay. So a few. St. John's, speaking of hockey, if you're a hockey fan and you're watching this, news just came down. They're looking for a new hockey coach, so if any of you are interested in that position, it should be open. Outgoing coach, leaving with a record of 9-62-1, which is rough considering the history here at St. John's. A couple times state champs. Be inheriting a team with not a ton in the cupboard, and who had just joined the Greater Ohio Hockey League. So not only are you competing with St. Francis, Bowling Green, Finley, Northview every year, but you're also in a conference with St. Ignatius, Liberty, Upper Arlington, University School. So good luck to whoever takes this job. Here comes Finley. I'm not applying, I'll tell you that. You're gonna apply? Amanda Brassfield applying for St. John's hockey. Here's Casey Pace. He probably won't apply for the job either. Neither will Luke Smith. Dornbush. Now, St. John's definitely has some overlap on their JV A and B rosters, and the game against the JVB, Finley actually was leading most of that game. They took a 3-0 lead into the fourth quarter. You can see here that it's not a mismatch. St. John's just kind of exploded for 5 goals in the fourth quarter to win that one 5-3. Here's a shot. Oh, Cashin West saved it. No, he didn't. Max Intavon took it, and he's hurt. There's going to be another shot. That's a goal. For number 21. Yeah, that's Max. And they just let him play. Goal by Drew Kaufman, sophomore attackman, but Intavon down. looks like he might have gotten hit in the head or the face with the ball. I didn't see it hit him, but I saw the hard shot. I couldn't see where it went, and then Max went down kind of holding his head. But it could have been something else, I suppose. Something here is trigger my allergies. It's 2-0 Titans after that goal. 6:42 to go in the second quarter. I'm guessing it is a face or head, something with Anthevon, because he doesn't seem to be favoring any other part of his body, and he still got his hands up there by his face. Oh, it could be a hand. Okay. Yeah, he does have his glove off. He's being tended to. Yeah, it could be a wrist or something. Those balls come out hard. When you get hit in the hand or wrist hard enough to go down and stay down, that's usually not a good sign. Could be right off the bone, though. Could just be like hopefully like a bruise or a stinger or something. Let's see. So we'll keep an eye on Inthilon on the sidelines, and in the meantime, we'll face off. It'll be Atticus Dysinger facing off for the Trojans with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Ball's picked up by Brock. All the BRs getting to me. We got a Brody, we got a Brock, we got a Brickner. Here's another Bryce Frost. Marcus Dornbush. Who's that picked that up on the sideline there? Is that Henry Eiton? Yep. It's Eiton from the sideline. Neat, gonna try to find the middle again. Can't. Backs it back out. Catches Eiton on the far side. Try to work around. Trojans have had a decent amount of possession in the game, but just can't get a good angle on the goal. Not usually seeing JV teams clogging up the lane quite so much. Here's a ground ball for somebody. Marshall fighting. That's that hockey. Out to Frost and then back out to Neat. Trying to get through again, but that's his third attempt on that move, and I just don't think it's going to work against these guys. Gonna have to get creative. Turnover for Neat. That should be his third. St. John's works it down into Finley territory. A bad pass there will likely be a over and back sort of situation. It is. Should have, yeah. I'm going to say let that one go because that guy was right on his tail. That's a ground ball for Brickner. Going to try to get the touch. He needs to step in the box. There he goes. Okay. Pace. Out to Little. Oh, Little throws it. And it's picked off. Cashel West with the ground ball there. Well, I guess not a ground ball since it was not contested. Just threw it. We threw it right to number 6, and number 6 threw it right to Cashel, and then Cashel threw it down the field. We're just tossing it back and forth. And that one is gonna. Oh, it's not gonna trickle out. Thought it was. Picked up by the Titans.
Okay, so those 4 on this one.
Just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Game's moving along. It happens when there aren't many goals. Good play from Aiden Brock. Forced a loose ball, but timeouts is called. I guess St. John's grabbed possession after that and then called the timeout. So we'll take a break here. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. 2-0. Take a minute to talk about the varsity contest coming up at 1 o'clock. It is, if you look on paper, this is the best team that the Trojans will play here in the regular season, rated higher than Olentangy Berlin even. St. John's, of course, not expected to, but made an incredible run last year in the state tournament, all the way to the state championship game, beating teams like Ottawa Hills and St. Francis along the way. Made it to the championship game, ended up losing that one to St. Francis DeSales out of Columbus. But a great run for the Titans, and now they're sitting at 10-1 on the season, ranked number 6 in the state in Division II, number 26 overall. And if you look on paper, they're probably a 8 or 9 goal favorite over the Trojans. So will be a challenge to be sure. Trojans just trying to keep it close, learn some lessons, and if we can steal a win, fantastic. But I think this is more about experience against the sort of teams we'll be seeing in the playoffs. St. John's did play Perrysburg earlier this year. Beat them by about 5, I want to say. So maybe a good measuring stick there to see how the Trojans will stack up in conference play when it comes back. St. John's just recently beat their arch rival St. Francis by 3, 9-6. So this Titan varsity team is rolling, and we'll see if the Trojans can do with that. .309 to go in the second. Shot wide, will stay with St. John's. Good defense there. Oh, I see Anthon back on the field, right? No, that's not him. Okay. I was just looking at Jack Young. No, it wasn't. I was looking at 18. I was looking at Brock. Battle for the ball on the far sideline. Still loose. And it's Patrick Shively scooping that one up. Good job, Shives. Lost it. And St. John's will get it. So a ground ball and a turnover. We call that the JV special, right? The ground ball followed by the turnover. Nice ground ball on the sideline for St. John's. Down to 1:40 to go in the half. Oh, that was a blocked shot by Aiden Brock. I don't know why I can't. You were doing this last game, and now I can't get Aiden Brock's name stuck in my head. Aiden Brock with the block shot, and then a ground ball for West. And another, oh, nope, didn't quite get it. Ground ball for Smith. Luke Smith, Shifley taking it to the gut there. Pass by Dornbush goes errant. It'll be St. John's ball with under a minute to go, about 53 seconds in the first half. Good defense by Eiton here. Ball's got to come back out to the goalie, St. John's goalie. Who is this? Dylan Saab is his name. St. John's will call their second time out of the half as they can't seem to get it out of their end, thanks largely to Henry Eiton. We don't have a stat for forced timeouts, but call that a forced timeout. Trojans trail by 2-0. With about 40 seconds to go in the first half. It's been a good competitive game. Trojans have held a lot of possession, and defensively they're playing well. But offense just can't seem to figure out how to get a good shot against the way this St. John's team's playing defense. Haven't really tested the goalie. Do we have any shots on goal? No. No shots on goal for the Trojans, so 3 shots, all of them off target. St. John's playing a very close packed defense in the middle, and Trojans liking their shots to come from inside. Have no room to do that. So we'll see. About 40 seconds left. St. John's will have possession. This is the 4th game in 4 days for this JV team for Findlay. Back on Wednesday, played St. John's JVB team, 5-3 loss, and then a big win over Northview on Thursday. I want to say that was 12-2. Here's Simon Marshall getting shoved, but he's not gonna let that take him out. Findlay calls their timeout with 20 seconds to go. Yeah, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then now Saturday, 4 games in a row for JV. They played St. John's at home on Wednesday, lost that one 5-3. Beat Northview 12-2 at Northview. On Thursday, last night, went down to Lima to play the varsity Lima senior squad and won that one. Can't remember what the score was. I want to say 6-4, maybe 6-3, 6-4, something like that. And then here today. So JV definitely getting the reps in. I know we do have 1 shot on goal. Bryce Frost. Nope, that's from yesterday. Yep, never mind. So it'll be Trojan ball coming out of the timeout with about 20 seconds to go in the half. Down 2-0. Trying to work up a play to get on the board. Cashel West been on a good streak as well over the last few games. Wasn't at the Lima game, but a scoreless half against St. John's on Wednesday, and then allowed 1 goal against Northview in 3 quarters of action. Here's Jake Neat. He's going to turn and shoot. Goes wide. Trojans will win the chase. 12 seconds to go. They did manage to get the ball to Neat fairly close in, but still, he was shooting through a lot of traffic and tossed it wide. Scramble for the ball just outside the crease. Oh, it bounced off of Simon Marshall's head. Did you see that? Right off the top. That's going to do it for the first half. The score is 2-0 St. John's. Not a bad. It was a good competitive first half. A lot of possession for the Trojans. Just can't quite figure out how to get the shots that they want. So maybe we'll see some adjustments at halftime. Let's see. We've got about 10 minutes on the clock for halftime, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, about 30 seconds from the face-off to start the third quarter. Your score, St. John's 2, Findlay 0. It's been a good competitive game so far. Not a whole lot on the stats sheet for the Trojans. I'm seeing the nice part is the Trojans are 3-0 on face-offs, with Atticus Dysinger getting 2 of those and Zayden Boop getting 1. Casha West with 2 saves to go along with 2 goals. Only 4 shots taken total for the Trojans, and none of them on target, so haven't really been testing Dylan Saab, the St. John's goalie. Decent number of ground balls. A pair of caused turnovers for Aiden Brigner and 2 for Jack Young as well, and that's about it on the stat sheet. There's another win for Brickner, this one due to a procedure violation. What's that? Oh, Dysinger. What did I say? Yeah. Dysinger makes him 3 for 3 on the faceoff today. And Griffin Lane's been absolutely dominating at the faceoff this year on the varsity squad, and he's still got another year to go, but Alex Dysinger's really been doing a nice job here on JV, and I don't think we'll see much of a drop-off when it's his turn. Boop also doing very well. It's a moving pick by the Trojans, and St. John's will take over. Let's see. Both Dysinger and Boop are sophomores, is that right? All right, and Griffin Lane is a junior. St. John's with possession down in the Finley end. Kasha West still in for the Trojans. Right along the sideline, it'll stay with St. John's. Little back and forth. St. John's, good job with a hard shot and a goal. Is that 21? So, third goal for Drew Kaufman. He is also rostered on varsity. Not surprised. Hard shot. Makes it 3-0. And what's that? 1 in each quarter. And that's despite some good defense on that from Aiden Brickner. He was playing him very close and didn't give him any room, and still managed to rip a very good, very hard shot. Just to the left of West. Here's another face-off win for Dysinger. Ground ball for Brock. Jack Young defending at X. Here's Kaufman again. Kid is athletic and strong. Max Inthavon stripping the ball. And give him a caused turnover, and Jack Young the ground ball. Got to be a strong guy to force that out of 21. And Max Inthavon is a strong guy, and he looks like he's okay, which is nice. I was afraid earlier, although his pass there for Smith, a little off, and that'll be a turnover. St. John's right back in the action. That one should go to the Trojans either way. Looked like a pass, but even if it was a shot, West would have won that chase. So it'll be Jack Young to bring it in. Young for West, scoots past him, but Intavon's there to pick it up. Intavon, a little high. Oh, 2 in a row there. West will grab that one. West's Pass goes out of bounds. And we go to St. John's. Shot right down the middle for Peyton Kennedy, saved by West. His third of the game. Looks like, oh, maybe a flag coming here. Yep. Aiden Walters was run over. Sorry, the Trojans will be man up here. Could be anywhere from a 30-second push in the back to a cross check. We'll see what they end up going with. Yeah, 30-second, just a push. So Trojans man up for 30 seconds. When we face the refs, I can at least try to get a sense of what they're saying. Yeah. So man ups for 30 seconds for the Trojans. Jake Neat will get us started. Up to Simon Marshall. Marshall will take a few steps back to Neat. Neat fakes. Stays with it, and they are all over Jake Neat today. Yeah. Back out to Marshall. And Marshall's pass at the baseline a little low for Spencer Gazier to handle. Nope, Luke Smith, excuse me. And that'll be a turnover. Speaking of Gazier, I haven't seen him. Is he here? I don't see him either. Unless that's him. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's on the field. Five and a half minutes to go. Oh, the chance. Looks like Young will get to it. Ground ball for Young. Catches. Here's a chance. Oh, and a score. That's Jake Neat. He finally did get to that spot in transition. The assist from Jack Young. So maybe that's the answer is you can't get into the middle on these guys in 6v6, but in transition, while things are still scattered, Jack Young has the speed and strength and a nice pass. Excuse me. Jake Neat has the speed and strength to get there off a nice pass from Jack Young. 3-1. St. John's, 5:19 to go in the third quarter. Face off, it's Dysinger. Ball still loose. Jaden Thompson picks that one up, and Dysinger stays perfect on the face off. Here's Thompson, his pass a little wide. Pass for Evan Blair goes out of bounds. Be St. John's ball. Working it down to the middle, mishandled, and a ground ball for Brickner. Yeah, that is Brickner. But his pass, a little bit errant. Still loose, but it's going to be picked up. Oh, it was picked up for just a second by Cooper Little, and then Evan Blair. Gosh, 53 versus 52. I'm just far enough away to make me get the numbers wrong sometimes. St. John's in transition. Good job there by, who is this? Oh, Gazier, yeah, to close the gap quickly. St. John's had a lot of room there in transition. Spencer Gazier closed the gap very quickly. I like that play. Bad pass there, but one picks it up. Shot, a bouncer, goes high. Out of bounds. It'll stay with St. John's. 3:46 left in the third. Titans lead 3-1. Oh. Not even really sure what happened there. Was that our first shot on goal? It was. Our first shot on goal was a goal. Ball will stay with the Trojans. Excuse me, the St. John's. No. Why does he point? Okay. He pointed the other way. Who's got it down there? Oh, yeah, that is neat. Neat, trying to curl it in, turns, shoots right off the goalie. New goalie for St. John's. This is James Smith, a sophomore. Makes the save by just being in the right place there. So that's when you're glad for those special chest protectors, because I know that shot was hard and it hit him square in the middle of the chest. St. John's having a little trouble getting it out of their end. Ball up high, bouncing around, and maybe a failure to advance here. We'll see what the call is. Yep. It'll be Trojan ball. Good job on the ride for the Trojans. Is that Brickner? Aiden Brickner with the ball. His shot saved, but a shot on goal. We hadn't had any shots on goal, and now we've had 3 in a row. So maybe figuring out the key to shots, and it looks like shots in transition may be the answer. Out of bounds. I'll go to Finley. There's Brody Houston having all kinds of trouble bringing it in. Gets it out to Marshall. Marshall spins and cradles and gets the touch. Nice. Now Aiton. He needs help. He had Jack Young. There it goes. No, excuse me, Pace. Again, 41 versus 47. They're both tall guys. Ooh, Simon Marshall. Simon Marshall from Casey Pace, and the angle on that shot was difficult. It was not a great look at the goal, but Marshall placed it really well. 3-2. Trojans showing some life here. They were down 3-0. Now it's 3-2. Both goals scored in the third quarter. About a minute and a half left in that. And we have ourselves a game. Is this Dysinger again? I wonder what's going on with Boop. It's the first face-off loss of the game for Atticus Dysinger there. St. John's with the turnover immediately, throwing it out of bounds. Jack Young will get it started. He'll scoot up the side. Oh, and he gets tripped. Still have the ball. Is that Dysinger? Yeah, Dysinger's got it. Tries to shoot, lost it, and then with St. John's getting the ground ball, that'll trigger the penalty, but Trojan should be man up here. A trip, yep. Trip is called. This ref uses pseudo hockey hand signals, so it's easier to. So it should be a minute. Yep, and yeah, that's Stuart Kaufman out for St. John's. So Trojans with an opportunity here, man up, to tie the game in the last minute and 7 of the third quarter. Here's Little to Aiton, around to Smith. Oh, dropped it. Marshall and Neat, the 2 goal scorers for the Trojans. Out to X. Oh, the pass is low and out, and that'll go to St. John's. .38 seconds to go in the third quarter. St. John's goalie Smith handling it. He'll send it up a deep pass, but right into the stick of Jack Young. He'll push it forward to Marshall. Marshall, nice pass. Oh, Blair was in a great spot, but couldn't keep it. Great pass from Marshall, both physically and vision-wise. Should be about out of time here. Yeah, 3 seconds to go. St. John's with the ball, and that's going to do it. So, Trojans keep the Titans off the scoreboard. No, they scored one. Scored one in the third. Trojans scored two, and the game is 3-2. Simon Marshall off an assist from Casey Pace, and Jake Neat off an assist from Jack Young. It's only just now 12 o'clock, and we're about to get started with the fourth quarter, so there should be a pretty good break between the two games. Varsity contest not slated to start until 1. So it looks like the Trojans going to keep Cashel West out there for the whole game. Looks like the Trojans are down to one coach for this JV game this morning. Just Kyle Fleck. I know Coach Miller's with the varsity squad on their way here, and Coach Colin Theriault at a wedding in the Czech Republic. That sounds nice.
Congratulations, Vlad.
Congratulations to Vlad, if you're watching. Vlad getting married. Vlad and Anna, both students at the University of Hradec Králové in the Czech Republic. Yeah. Both of them did an exchange program there to the University of Findlay. Had never met until they came to Findlay. Met while both studying abroad in Findlay. Now they're getting married. Crazy kids. I didn't get to know Anna very well, but I got to know Vlad pretty well, and he's a great guy. Here is a shot wide from Drew Kaufman. Titans will hang on to the ball. Neat with the ground ball. Has some trouble. Might want to call a timeout here. We'll see. Going to give it to, who is this? This is Gagne, right? Emerson Gagne. Call a timeout. Oh, we lost the ball. It's a turnover. $8:47 to go in the game. It's been a good one, 3-2 so far. Titans in the lead. Ooh, dropped the ball there. Picked up by Shively. Ground ball for him. He's in some trouble. Ball still loose and picked up by the Titans. Best strategy for the Trojans at this point may be don't let 21 shoot. I think that's... He had it there, did not shoot. Misplayed that pass and a nice ground ball for Brickner. He's having a nice game. He's going to get it down low. Oh, to... Was that Dornbush? Couldn't hang on to the pass. Still loose, though. Ground ball will go to, is this Frost? But out of bounds and to the Titans. 7.5 to go. St. John in possession. Oh, bad handle there, and Emerson Gagne with the ground ball. Sends it deep. It's going to be a battle. And St. John's will win it. Ball on the ground. St. John's grabs it back. 6.5 to go. Titans lead by 1. Here's Kaufman making a couple of moves, trying to get around Inthevon. Good defense there. It's a pass back out to X, and then good job on the baseline by Gagne. Ooh, ground ball scooped up by Marshall as it approached the crease. Marshall. Oh, they're going to call him. We'll take it, but I don't know, man. Simon Marshall just kind of barely clipped as he ran up the sidelines, and it was just his momentum took him about 6 steps and then a tumble. But it'll give the Trojans a 30-second man-up opportunity with 6 minutes to go. Looking to tie it up. Marshall will start with it. Frost and now Neat. Marshall back to Neat. Again, Trojans man up briefly. Here's Dornbush. Smith. Dornbush again. Oh, on the 360, lost it. Ground ball for Frost. Now St. John's back to full strength. Marshall under attack, loses it. Oh, here comes Kaufman. He's got room. And he's just going to send it right in. That's his fourth. Fourth goal for Drew Kaufman is the 4th goal for St. John's. And it makes it 4-2. Said he's rostered varsity, but he's played this whole game, so he can only play 2 quarters, but they've got guys even better than him. You see Zayden Boop take the face off now. Just over 5 minutes to go in the game. Trojans trail by 2. You can see the varsity Trojans in the bleachers across the way there, getting their jerseys on. Titans will win that one. Titans taking their time here. Down to 4.5 minutes. Low pass. Titans will hang on. Hard shot from, is that Liam May? Goes wide. Titans will hang on. Three. Back out to X. Pass down low, broken up by Jaden Thompson. And now a chance for a ground ball. Still bouncing around. Did he not step out? No, I guess not. Ball stays with St. John's. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. That was a shot, I guess. That was a sailed the shot. High. Ball will stay with the Titans. St. John's working around the X. Oh, here comes Kaufman again. His shot. They call that a goal? Yep, just caught the inside of the post. And he's got his 5th goal. 5-2. Now the score. That's basically the goal that got waved off for us against Ottawa Hills. All right, 3 minutes to go. Titans lead by 3, 5-2. Here's Zayden Boop on the faceoff. Chance. Ball's loose. But the Titans will win that one. Pass mishandled there. Saved it, though. Kaufman to the inside for Kennedy. Peyton Kennedy gets the goal, number 1. Off the assist from Kaufman, makes it 6-2. .209 remaining. So St. John's out to a 3-0 lead. Finley brought it back to 3-2. And now the Titans have added 3 more to make it 6-2. Back to Atticus Dysinger at the faceoff. And Trojans will win that one. It's Luke Smith on the ground ball. Smith to Frost. Just under 2 minutes to go. Oh, here's a look for Dornbush. Sends it high and out. It'll stay with Finley. Is Dysinger sails it high on a pass to Smith out of bounds, and that'll be St. John's ball. 1.5 to go. Finley ball. Do they not touch it in? Seems like too short of a time for that. I don't know. Oh, timeout. Okay. Why they call timeout with a minute left? St. John's timeout called. 1:19 to go. Titans lead 6-2. Looking at the St. John's JV roster, they got 3 Liams. case you were curious, what the most popular name on the St. John's JV lacrosse roster is. It's Liam. Getting ready to play out the last minute 19 of this one. Trojans have played well. The 6-2 score doesn't really tell the story of the game, really. The fourth quarter has kind of been a different tone from the rest of it. St. John's really dominated possession and shots here in the fourth quarter, but the first three quarters very tight. There's Kaufman back out to Kennedy. Those two combined for all the scoring so far. Kennedy shot saved by West. Into the middle. And there's Kaufman again. Off the assist from Liam May, one of the three Liams. Kind of a distasteful play with under a minute to go. And up by 4, in my opinion. 52 seconds to go. St. John's now leads by 5. It's the kind of thing you'll remember when you're the better team. Dysinger on the face-off. Gets his own ground ball. It's picked up by St. John's and stolen by Jake Neat. And he drops. Ball down. Ball will stay with Titans with 26 seconds to go. Bad pass and a lost shoe leads to a ground ball for who we got here. Aiden Brock. Shot goes wide. It'll stay with Finley with 13 seconds to go. Pass for Drake Robertson. In and out of the stick. Ground ball for Neat. 3 seconds. And that'll do it. St. John's takes that one 7-2 with a unsportsmanlike goal, I'd say. That's what it is in the final minute. But strong fourth quarter for the Titans. I want to say 5 goals in the fourth. For St. John's leads to a 7-2 victory. Goals for the Trojans, 1 each for Neat and Marshall. Assists, Young and Brickner. No, Pace, excuse me, Young and Pace. 4 saves for Cashel West. Played the whole game. In goal, Atticus Dysinger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, yeah, 5, 6, 7. 7 and 2, so 7 for 9. At face-off, Zayden Boop, 1 for 3. And good handful of ground balls. So that'll do it. We'll be back at about 1 o'clock. So 45 minutes or so for the varsity game. No, they only put 30 on the clock, so we may be starting early. 30 minutes, and we'll watch the varsity Trojans and Titans do battle. 7-2, your final. See ya.